Hey YouTubers, Zindrey here. I'm back with another Pinball FX3 original table from Zen Studios. This is Adventureland, and this is quite an interesting table. There's a lot going on this one. I did mention it in the video with Son of Zeus, which is the Hercules table, but you can buy the Son of Zeus and the Adventureland tables together as one pack of DLC on the Nintendo eShop. So you'll get those two together, and this one's one of the ones that I like from a standpoint that the design is all over the place, but it's zany and wacky and everything you would expect from a kind of a circus atmosphere. But I also find it really difficult because I have a hard time tracking what I'm supposed to be doing to progress, and you'll probably see that during this video. But let's go ahead and play a little bit while we talk about it. But first thing you'll notice is just how bright the colors are and everything. I like the slushy machine on the left hand side, and I don't know if I've ever had that happen before. I was confused when I saw the target come up. But I find stuff in these tables all the time. I'll make a shot that I have never done or haven't done in a certain combination, and some little mini game pops up or something like this. And there's a roller coaster on the right side. There's a little helicopter dude. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on, and it gives me that vibe. Obviously it's not the same, but it gives me a little bit of the vibe from the Williams table, Funhouse with the talking head, Andy on it, and I managed to get a nudge to work, and then not on the second time. But it just has that feel. But I love the background on this. It's just vibrant and bright, and all the art. I've said this 100 times, but all of the artwork that Zen does is just fantastic. I absolutely love their art design and their presentation on all of their original tables. Now, strangely enough, I've talked a lot about the physics on the table. The floaty ball feeling is still here on this table, but it doesn't bother me as much, and I haven't quite put my finger on why. I think it's because there's so many long shots, and that it doesn't. And I'm holding the triggers longer. That effect of the ball not feeling as heavy isn't quite as obvious as it usually is. Like I said, I'm stretching here. I really don't know why. But it doesn't bother me anywhere near as much. Now, I don't know if under the hood there's actually some reason for that, or it's just perception. But anyway, this is a fun table. And the roller coaster, that feels really satisfying when the ball goes through the roller coaster like that. So. But I never really get a good feeling of what I'm supposed to be working on. The DMD at the top will teach you a few things here and there, but again, it's hard to read that stuff while you're playing. So this one's interesting. Where that flashing light is, I have to hit the trigger, the flipper. And I'm trying to do the timing right, and that car is going to go faster and faster, so this is just one of those little mini games. I think I've gotten in the 30s before. And other than, I guess I've gotten 47 before, because it keeps track of the record up there. Well, that's handy. I don't know if I've ever noticed the record being up there. But other than points, I'm not sure if there's any other benefit to this. But obviously you wouldn't, I guess you could implement something like this on a regular pinball game, but most of the time they want you playing the actual game because they're wanting your quarters. And while you're in that mini game, not losing your 3 balls that you're given for your 50 cents or whatever, you're getting more game time, and they'd rather you be putting quarters in. So one of the other advantages of digital tables, we've already bought this. We don't have to worry about that. We're not putting quarters in every time. So we can design a table that's not harsh. It doesn't have to be harsh, it just has to be fun. So, I mean, it's So I wish I could read the DMDs while I was doing things. And I know there's a table guide, and I should be reading the table guides, and I do from time to time when I'm working on a specific table, trying to get the achievement or something like that. But to be honest, when I'm playing pinball, I don't know if I've ever done this. After all this time, I don't know if I've ever done this. But that didn't go very well. Usually when I'm playing pinball, it's one of those games I pick up when I've got 20 minutes. And I very rarely sit down and play for hours and hours, and where I could sit there and learn the table. That's not anyway the game's fault. It's just how I'm using my game time. But there's a few tables that I have been working on for a while.
Hurry, time is nearly up.
I'm sure after I get the achievements on those, I'll pick one of the other tables up to be a little bit more serious about. But probably the greatest strength of these pinball collections, whether it's Pinball FX3 or Pinball Arcade or Zachary, I think are the three that I would recommend. You get that replayability, first of all, that I like so much, but there's a lot of variety. I mean, even if we go, and we will at one point, we'll go look at all the Williams tables. You know, they represent tables from 2+ decades, and you can see how the designs changed and how things that were more mainstream and popular, became less so, and other things kind of took their place, and that kind of sort of thing. And then you can see some like technological improvements, and I don't want to say gimmicks, but like I mentioned, Funhouse had the talking head on it, Andy. Nobody had ever done that before.
The coasters are extended.
I mean, there had been other games that had a voice at that point, a computerized voice talking. I want to say Gorgar was the first. I may be wrong about that. But nobody had the animatronic, not animatronic, but you know what I mean, the kind of the puppet mechanical head. Animatronic makes me think of Chuck E. Cheese's. Which is not quite what I meant.
The ramps are safe again. It was more spectacular back in my day.
So we hit 12 million. And that's the end of that. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to play a few more games, and I'll probably leave the best full game that I play at the end of the video. So let's go look at that and see how I did.
Welcome to Adventureland.
Alright, another game here. I don't think I've even once got the ball up there in the little spinny cup thing. This might be the first time. Locked the ball in. I didn't get to read it before I did it. But yeah, I don't think I've gotten the spinny cup up there at all yet today.
You're not supposed to do that.
Ball 1 locked for multi-ball. Oh man, sometimes the score numbers just get in the way, and that's unfortunate. It's not a bad effect, but it can be distracting sometimes. You just can't see the silvery white ball, and the light colored text on top of it. It just makes it hard to see. But it makes it more dynamic and interesting, I guess. Everybody likes to see their big score numbers. So we got the twin loop again. That's a combo shot. And there's another twin loop.
We still have some empty seats.
So get a ticket to use vertigo. I think that's where I was just hitting. Nope. There we go. Twin loop started. So I have managed to nudge the ball right down the center. Good times. Like the little guy at the ticket booth letting you in whenever you're about to do the ball launcher. It's kind of cool. Little touches like that, they do a great job.
The coasters are extended.
The guys over at Zen Studios, they don't know me by name or anything like that, but I've had several Twitter conversations with them over the years about things they were doing or things I wanted to see, and they've always been very good about talking to their community about what they were doing, and
The extensions are
they continue to make pretty good products. Now, I forgot to mention they do make one other pinball game. Now, I have a little gripe with this, but I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. But they came out with the Star Wars pinball. Now that's based on pretty much the same. I don't want to say for definite, but I believe it's the same engine, because on all the other platforms,
ready to fly.
many of these tables, it's Star Wars pinball. Many of these tables already existed as DLC for oh, I just tilted the table. Great. Already existed as DLC. And to be totally honest, I would have rather have seen those tables come to to DLC, or given me the option to buy them that way. And I understand once they decided to make a standalone game and market it and make a retail version, I understand why they didn't also do the DLC, because it would be splitting the sales between the two, and it makes everything look better on paper if all the sales for that product or that project that you did, directly relate to your profits. But we talked about before how I like, I'm looking for my life to be decluttered. That includes the number of apps I have on my Nintendo Switch at any one time. And games like pinball or things that I pick up and play, I always leave those things installed. And so it's just yet another pinball game I'd have to have on my Switch. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't buy it, and if it had been DLC, I know my brain would have been, there's all these tables you haven't bought, you need to buy those, and I probably would do it right now if they put all the Star Wars tables in here. But buying a separate game just for now, I want to say this, they did add new stuff to it. They added some additional features, this light side, dark side type thing that you're doing as you play through the tables and all that stuff. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm just not. I loved the original 3 movies when I was a kid, but even then that wasn't my favorite thing in the world. So it just, as a whole, I'm less interested in Star Wars pinball tables than any other tables they offer. So if I can get all those in the DLC pack, and maybe even a DLC pack on sale, to quote, complete my collection inside Pinball FX3, then I probably would have done it. But I'm not going to go out and buy another $20 or $30 game of pinball tables that I'm not really interested in on their own. And that's just me. I know there's Star Wars fans that love that, and I'm sure they're well implemented and all that. It's the source material. I would rather play Adventureland than play Star Wars, to be totally honest. That's just how it is. I haven't quite figured out what I'm doing on this. Maybe I'm not doing anything at all, maybe it's random, but it usually gives some pretty good points. But I will say this too, I'm recording this in June, and there was a Twitter announcement just the other day that they will be making some announcements in July, I say June, but July, about some new tables. So we've had kind of a drought for new tables for them, but then again, they put out a lot at the end of last year. They did quite a bit of work, so I don't want to sound ungrateful in any way. In fact, they got some of my favorite tables put in, so I really have no right to complain about anything. But I'll be lying if I didn't say I was hoping the next batch would have already been out. But I'm looking forward to showing you guys those. I really love the Williams tables a lot.
The balloons flew away. There will be more soon.
My favorite pinball game of all time is actually in Pinball FX3, so we'll definitely go through that one, and I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger. I'm not going to tell you which one it is till we get there, but it is in the Williams pack, so it's quite a ways away. I want to get through the original tables first and all the DLC, and then do the Williams ones. Alright, this game again, which I still don't quite understand what I'm doing. Alright, I got something. I got a ticket. If you're asking me what I'm supposed to do with that ticket, I have no idea. So my flippers on that may be adjusting how fast that spins. That might be the trick with that. And I've gotten multi-ball at some point. That may be what I got with the ticket. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a very good pinball student. I just enjoy playing it. And I lost a ball. And yes, I have
Be careful next time.
spent time learning how to keep a ball and multi-ball separate and all that stuff, but to be honest, most of the time it just screws me up. I do better with my reactions and just trying to keep the ball in play. Even if it's kind of a wild shot, it scores points. Like that right there. Just, well, that wasn't a good example, but just juggling them a little bit, keeping them in play, it's just a style thing. I don't think that's the right way to do it. If you have any idea that you may want to try to be the best pinball player ever, then yeah, you need to learn some of those other tricks.
Wonderful.
I am a self-proclaimed lazy pinball player, but I also find it fun. Wait until you see these juggling multi-ball on like Monster Bash or something. It's a lot of fun. Alright, well, this one went a little bit better than some of the other ones, so I feel better overall. This has actually turned out to be a decent score. This might be my new high score, now that I look at it. So let's find out. So let's find out here. Yeah, oh, just obliterated the previous best score on that. So, hey, while I was recording, I actually had a good game. So leaderboard rank, I think I mentioned before, I have no idea if that's Switch only. It may be. They may have done crossplay at some point. I'll try to find that out and mention it in a future video. But leaderboard rank in 3,686, that's not bad. I can live with that, obviously. Still more to go. Still have a lot of ways to get better at this. But anyway, that is Adventureland. It's an original table on Pinball FX3. Again, I'm playing anything that's console on this channel. I'm playing on the Nintendo Switch because it's my favorite console. So I hope you've enjoyed it and you'll join me for the next video. I'm going to tackle some more tables from Pinball FX3 very soon. Thanks everybody. Bye bye.